Well. Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. Yeah. Well, let's show I've tweeted. That's obviously the best introduction here. My quick thoughts, my quick feelings after the game. And welcome, Shalom. All right. All right. Stayed up all day for this. Nick is bad. Let me know if it's
I just got what happened. It's just one of those results. If you get me, it's just one of those results where one team is coming in very confidently, the other team are coming in as strong underdogs, and they get the win. The deserved win as well. Botafogo deserved to win this game, even though they only had like one chance. They deserved to win because of how well they played, how well they defended. Like as soon as we came into their own half, and they were so physical as well. Like we got bodied today. This is what the Premier League teams say. The Premier League teams say, "Oh, we're PSG don't have any physicality and so on," and which is true. Like we don't have like insane physicality, but when we face like a Premier League team, they can rise 2 meters. It's not an issue. But Botafogo, they out muscled us, out hustled us basically. Yo, welcome, Junior.
Hello. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yo, Junior, man, you're the first person I wanted to talk to after that game, bro.
Me, really? Hold on. Let me turn my camera. There you go. Hold on. Sorry about the mic. Well, I'll keep it like this. Yeah, go on.
No, like you know how we had extensive conversations about South American teams and stuff.
Oh,
How they can't hang with European teams and all that. I mean, we've seen a couple games now. I mean, this is match day 2 right now of the Club World Cup. Not just the evidence of tonight, but even other games.
I mean, obviously, I would have obviously loved if this was for a game, of a team I don't support, but unfortunately it was against us. But yeah, no, it's correct. Bro, South American teams have definitely been really good. I think they're undefeated still in the competition to this point, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I won't say I'll hold my hands up that certainly I perhaps underestimated South American football. Or I'm not sure if I underestimated them or perhaps I overestimated European football.
I think it's a mix of both, don't you think?
I think there's an aspect
those teams like Benfica. Sorry, not Benfica.
Porto.
FC Porto losing to Inter Miami is an embarrassment. On all fronts, it's an embarrassment, dude.
Yeah.
You can't lose to fucking Inter Miami, bro. They're actually stinky. Like all their Fabio Vieira, like Alan Varela, who we were linked to, I think a season or 2 ago. These guys stink. Fucking Samu stinks. Like they couldn't hack Inter Miami, bro. But Botafogo, it's not an L losing to Botafogo, bro. This is the best team in South America.
No, still now. For me, the thing is that like I've just finished recording my own like post game to this, and it's the fact that you can't even use the excuse. If we played, for example, like this against Atletico and lost, obviously we still not be happy with the performance and everything, but you could still say that you could have the excuse of like the high of winning the Champions League. There's naturally going to be a point you come down on top of your players playing the Nations League.
But Junior, Botafogo is better than Atleti. If they beat Atleti on match day 3, it don't look that bad.
Yeah, what's your prediction then, Junior, for that game? What I'm sensing Botafogo play for a draw, because they just as long as they don't lose, they will finish as first place. So I think they will just defend that game as well.
I think Atleti is a better team, but Botafogo could definitely beat them. That's how I'll go and say.
Yo, GG's, man. Shout out to Botafogo. Shout out to Botafogo. Huge respect.
Yeah, man. Yeah, huge respect to Botafogo.
And and also, I mean, this is sort of a side tangent, but like, especially because recently, bro, the amount of like, just backlash we're getting from Barca fans. The difference between us and the team communities, PSG, we lost today. We're going and saying we lost fair and square. I'm not saying, oh, but the rest, but the this, but we lost fair and square. Botafogo, honestly, probably if you had to go and say, they probably should have scored a second goal with that. They had that cross in with that header, was it on or whoever? Yeah. So we could have lost that game 2-0, and we deserved to lose. We did not deserve to win that game. We lost fair and square. The game was played. No excuses on our end. Nothing. We're not going to use the excuse of all the Ballon, so on and so forth. And this gets me on to a second point. Because I've been seeing, and this is actually something I've really why I wanted to come on so quickly on here, is that recently I've been seeing, because of the the first game against Atletico Madrid, people have been saying that, oh, you guys see, PSG without Ousmane Dembele are still super good, and so that's why he doesn't deserve to win the Ballon d'Or. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. Even though, let me remind those people, first and foremost, the Ballon d'Or is not an MVP award. If that's the case, then Bruno Fernandes should win it. Okay, but even with that, why are you going to see today? Obviously, I'm not going and saying that if Ousmane Dembele had been there, we're obviously for sure winning. But you wouldn't see the difference, first and foremost, as the number 9 and whatnot. He's just, in terms of, like, I've said this before, for me, Dembele needs to be one of those, like, top 3 captains somehow. He has to be. Because I know, in private, so on and so forth, and, like, you go and ask him, he's extremely humble, he doesn't talk much. But you go and you see him on the pitch, he talks to everybody, he's one of the oldest people in the squad. And then just on the pitch as a technical leader, he's our technical leader. The thing that he does, the press, to set up that press. He's the first defender, is what I remember. I read watched your like when you were reading that interview. He's the first defender. That's what Lucho told him. He's a role model for everybody else. You go and see. That's what I'm going to say.
And think about it, Junior. Mm-hmm. There's no Marquinhos on the pitch. There's no Fabian, like, from the start. So like Mayula wore in midfield. So we definitely lacked, like, personality. Like, Kvara was the only one I saw with, like, personality. Then obviously Fabian came on, Nuno came on. We saw personality in them.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we definitely lacked characters in this game, especially when we're back. I tweeted this. I said I don't think Dembele would have changed, like, the team performance overall. Obviously, he would have been way better than Gonçalo as a false 9. But the goal, I know Dembouz, when we struggle, he can be clinical. He can be efficient from one opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, I guess it's good PR for Dembouz.
Yeah, I mean, even though, like, I think it's a ridiculous argument regardless both ways. Like, the Ballon d'Or is it's not an MVP award and so on and so forth. But just to go and remind all those people, all of a sudden, oh yeah, PSG's good without PSG. It's just because he plays on a good team. We saw the game today. Like, for me, this sort of gets me onto, like, the other point here, is that, I mean, at this point, if there's a good offer for Gonçalo, listen, I have nothing against him personally. I think he's a good person, but I mean, he can go.
Oh, he can
damn.
Damn.
He can go.
Like,
he can go.
How long did it take for you to get on the bandwagon?
No. I've always been, if there's a good offer, I think he can go. I've always been like, I think he's a good option from the bench. But now he's like, obviously, I sort of in some sense like feel for the guy in the sense that he came before Lucho came. So I'm assuming
No.
He came after.
Came before. Gonçalo came before in the beginning.
Yeah, that was Ugarte. That came before.
So he was a Lucho signing, or was it sort of he came because of?
No, so in the first transfer window, Campos still had more power than Lucho in the transfer market. So Lucho could never veto a signing. For example, the summer after, Campos wanted Osimhen, Lucho could veto that. Lucho just didn't have the power. He was like, you know what, I've just come in. Let me get my players. If Campos wants to sign players he believes are good, like Kang-in Lee, Cher and Dor, like we signed so many players maybe Lucho didn't exactly want.
Yeah.
So it was more freedom to Campos. But no, he was signed under Luis Enrique.
Okay, but we all agree that he's not Luis Enrique signing in the sense that he's not a player who went, okay, I want him.
It wasn't like Luis Enrique. Yeah.
No,
it wasn't like that. No.
I just think that
Campos, it was like, this guy is good, trust me. And Lucho was like, yeah, let's see.
Okay. But yeah, it's just,
But honestly, man, of
but
our
even me.
backups, not feeling Warren. I just think Warren. I think we love to protect him, because he's the TT. He's the guy.
No,
He's the
I don't
golden
know if to
child.
protect him. I don't know.
A
if
lot
to
of people
protect
no, but I feel like a lot, especially like French fans, when you take the temperature of French PSG fans, they love to protect him because he's the TT, man. He's the kid. He's the guy. But realistically, he's not a starter currently, and him playing on the bench isn't really going to help him. Him starting from the bench isn't really going to help him either. So it's getting very complicated. His situation is getting very complicated. Mayulu, Lee, Ramos, Lucas Hernandez, Warren. These are all the rotation players, right? And you can only pick out maybe one or two that are satisfactory.
Well, I'd still go and say I think there's a pretty big, like, for me, the three players that I'm going and saying is like, listen, you guys should start looking, for Airbnbs, other places, start speaking
Lucas
landlords.
Hernandez,
Lucas Hernandez. I mean, listen, I feel like obviously I understand that on a human, he had a huge, massive injury the second time in his life, so I can get that, but no, it's just
I feel for him, man. I feel for Lucas a bit because like when he came, if you remember that first half of the season, debut season, 23-24, a bunch of us, we had to make our top 5 players at mid-season. Lucas Hernandez was a mainstay on every list.
Yeah, 100%. We're not.
We were all,
He
we
was
were
like
all like,
Hakimi Neves in terms of consistency.
yeah, like, and now look at where we're at. Over a year.
He sort of had to go and play at left back, but I think now is that because even back then you could always say, okay, yeah, maybe Nuno is probably going to offer you more going forwards, but it's defensively where Hernandez is your man. But now even defensively, like with all due respect to Botafogo and their strikers, he's not going against Kylian Mbappe, Rodrigo, Saka, and so on and so forth, and he was like. He was struggling to a certain degree, and the fact that
it wasn't even like the 1v1 presence or something that he was struggling. It wasn't even in that aspect he was struggling. Like he couldn't play under pressure
as well.
Yeah, his passing under pressure, his play under pressure was very poor.
Yeah. Now, for me, the three players that should start thinking of finding starting looking at moving companies. You've got Gonzalo potentially, Lucas Hernandez. And Kang-in Lee, yeah, those three. Kang-in Lee, y'all.
One guy as well, maybe Beraldo.
Hear me. Honestly, Kang, like this gonna sound controversial, but how have people given Warren more grace than Kang?
I think it's age. It's age.
Kang
is not going to get much better than this.
Kang isn't like 28.
Not going to get much better than
no, there's several things. There's first and foremost the fact that you alluded to first is the fact that he's a TT. So he didn't cost you anything, and he came to the academy. But even on top of that, though, is that we've seen the peak of Warren. We've seen Warren at his best. We can see like it's sort of when we see Warren, it's not that you go and see this guy is like crap. You seeing like we've seen you at your best and you're not reaching your potential. With Kang, even at his best, it's not like he wowed us for a bit, but he's not
his best. I think at Kang's best, it would look especially in midfield. I don't think Lucho's doing him a solid playing him from the wing every time he comes in. Every time. Goes to the right wing. Like I don't see why he can't be given a shot in that midfield 3 if you're gonna rest Fabian or you're gonna rest, Neves. Because it's Warren and Mayulu. They had the chance today and we needed more creation from the middle of the park. Didn't get it.
Yeah. Think about it. This game, we'll still go through. I think we'll still go. I think it's mathematically impossible for Atletico to leapfrog us. No, actually, it is.
No, they could.
This just came out. Yeah, if we don't win against Seattle, but this just came out. PSG cannot finish first. The head-to-head game is the first preference because the best we can get is 6 points. Botafogo is already on 6 points, so even if they lose, they will go through because of better head-to-head. We have better head-to-head than Atletico. So as long as we
just need to match the result.
Yeah.
So that game basically almost becomes a must win. So
I mean, we're gonna smack Seattle. Dude.
And both games are played at the same time as
same
well.
time.
So be a bit cheeky.
Yeah, I won't even be here for that game.
But this game can be seen. It was somewhat of an experiment from Lucho. You know, a lot of rotations. Beraldo, Gonzalo Ramos, Lucas Hernandez, Warren Mayulu. Can
This
they
was
lead
not
the
the
PSG
game.
midfield? No,
This
I
was
agree,
not the
Chosen.
game.
It wasn't the game, but now that it's happened, this game has answered many questions. And myself, my stance on Gonzalo Ramos was I want to keep him in the squad because he's a good squad player. I think he got like 28 GA last season. But in these two games, we were missing Osman Dembele. We were missing Bradley Barcola. We needed Gonzalo. He's just not good enough. We have to sell. We have to sell.
No,
So we
but
can
the
still
thing
get
is-
good enough money for him and sign a better replacement. Because if
You
Dembele
still-
is
you
going to be
still have
out,
to
I
start
want to be
Gonzalo.
confident, man.
You still have to start Gonzalo against Seattle. I think he'll
No,
score in that
no,
game.
no. No. I think you
you
play
start
best
Barcola
11,
doing?
man.
No,
I mean,
Dembele's
no.
not. Dembele gonna be on the bench.
No, I think at this point he needs to come and make an appearance. Like whether and I'm not saying he needs to start in the game, but first and
No.
foremost, like okay, obviously we should be beating
Fabrice
Seattle.
Hawkins.
100%.
Fabrice Hawkins was right, man. You know, I didn't want to believe him at first, but you know, he's tight with Dembouz's entourage, and he said he said that Dembele gonna miss pretty much the whole group stages. Now, in light of this recent result, I think Dembele will at least make the squad for the Sounders game and come off the bench, probably play 20 to 30 minutes.
I think so because I mean, yeah, that game is now a must win. And I mean, another thing that I mean, I'm not sure if you guys agree because I saw you talked about Mo in your post game podcast, and I agree with you. Is that Due, sometimes trying a bit too much, so on and so forth, and obviously that's normal. That's the type of player he is, so on and so forth. And he's like sort of Neymar. At times, Neymar would try to go and play that hero ball, and at times yes, it's annoying, but that's the thing. The one thing at least with Due, what you can never go and say is that he doesn't hide himself, and that's sort of my issue with Kang is that. Like Kang, when he was on the wing, he put a Yamal performance against Portugal. It's like Yamal didn't necessarily if you want to go and say get pocketed by Nuno. He didn't try anything. He was scared. He tried to compete with Casper the Friendly Ghost for who can ghost better. Like every time Kang got the ball, he gets the ball, maybe does his little shimmy, passes it back or passes it sideways. Like on top of that, another thing that we really need to improve on is, oh my goodness, the amount of times we put crosses in or corners in or we had free kicks and we don't even get past the first defender. I'm sorry, like this is basic football stuff. Starting to piss me off. Like I know we've been able to tighten up defensively.
I don't know, man. I just feel like Lucho's done way cooler like experimental lineups. Like in Ligue 1, like we used to play like Vitinia, Kang-in Lee.
Yeah.
You
remember that Rennes game?
Yeah, this was not the type of experiment. Like the Mayulu Warren thing was just not it, dude. That was not the vibration for this kind of game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna start Mayulu, don't start Warren. If you're gonna start Warren, don't start Mayulu.
Yeah.
I mean, you think
The
that
thing is, if you're gonna play them both together, it's got to be a game where it's going to be end to end, a transition type game. Like you can't.
Yeah, no,
can't
but
play that against a team,
Botafogo. If we say them as a Ligue 1 team, I mean, they're better than all Ligue 1 teams apart from us.
No,
I'm not going, bro. Botafogo would make top 4 in League.
Junior, this team won the Copa Libertadores.
Yeah, I know, but
Like,
This is a chance to
is-
South America, dude.
Like they're better than
They make
Marseille.
top
Like
four in the league,
Marseille never put in
Big
anything.
top 4 in League.
yeah, but also you have like I mean, okay, this I don't want to go because this is gonna go and sound like I'm discrediting. Like I still think PSG also played poorly today. Not to take anything away from them, like just because they went and they beat us. Like Nice played a masterful game against us. We lost.
No, but
And-
Nice, I remember we had so many chances.
True.
Dembele
That's
missed
true.
a
That's
big
true.
chance.
And even today, like it's not that. That's honestly the most worrying thing. At least when we lost to Liverpool in other games, even like Dortmund last year, it's you could sort of say you were unlucky.
Exactly.
Today, I think we didn't create a single big chance.
No.
We had 2 shots on target. They had 4 shots on target. Like we got just stifled, and I think that's what I'm going to like. We saw that typical, as you guys like to say, the U shape, side to side passing, go to the wing, come back inside, play the other center back and whatnot, go the other side.
And this is where Junior, this is where I get on Vitinia. When it's a U-shaped thing, I gotta look at Vitinia for that because he is the system for the possession. And this is where I say like we know he's world class, but this is where I tell you like he footballistically, he's not a Verratti. Like a Verratti, he knows how to force the issue in these type of games, find the pass that no one sees or, be more precise with it. Vitinha today, like he was just side to side, going through the motions. You could tell like there's a TikTok clip of him chilling with Nuno in Beverly Hills. So,
With
like
his wives.
yeah, like so you can just tell like maybe he just wasn't feeling up to it.
No. I'm not. I'm only using it because the thing is that the thing like any of those excuses like you can't because in the first game all that happened. Their wives were there, their families were there. You saw Desiree Doué with Mayulu and more and whatnot out in Beverly Hills and walking, and look what they did against Atleti. So it's just the game. I'm not sure if maybe as Moby said. We just thought we were better than we were. We thought that, this is Botafogo. We sort of underestimated our opponents. Or
there's a clip, right? There's a clip of a couple Portuguese guys, or I think Brazilians, right? So they fought. They encounter what's his name? They encounter Vitinha, right? There's a clip of this actually. It's on social media, and they ask him in Portuguese, "Do you know Marlon Freitas or whatever?" I don't know how to say his name, the Portuguese style, but Freitas. He's the captain of that Botafogo side, and they asked him, Vitinha, if he personally knows him, and he said no, he doesn't. Which obviously that's understandable. Like, but after the game, the Botafogo fans are like, "Oh, I'm sure you know who he is now." So
I get that.
It's all in good, but yeah, like it's all in good play, but. Yeah, man. Today, this game, we don't need to draw too much from it overall, but yeah, I think we encountered a very good team, man. I think Atleti are actually out of this group. That's crazy.
This comment here saying the tweet is wrong. It's goal difference first. I'm checking here. It says in the event of a tying group play, the tiebreaker is to determine which team's advance is as follows: goal differential in all group matches. So maybe there's a small chance, but I mean, it don't really matter if we finish first or second. Because the team that we're gonna face is gonna be like Palmeiras or Inter Miami, and I mean, I don't think there's that much big difference.
No, I think for me, just win, focus on win by a lot, and then focus on the other extra details afterwards. If you do your thing, you do it. That's the idea. Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Oh, you want a 7-0? Damn.
I mean, it's at least four.
Yeah, it's yeah. So, I mean, the thing is that the other thing is because bar this, after having looked at like all the big teams and whatnot play, PSG was definitely the most satisfying. Obviously, Bayern got their 10-0, but it was stat padding. It was a stat pad test for them. And then from that, you go from that and you go and play like that. That's like if the games were reversed, I'd be a bit more like, okay, I can get it. But it's the fact that you went and you did that against Atletico Madrid in the sense where you had every possible excuse going against you.
Yeah.
You still smacked them. Even you want to use like the heat factor. In that game against Atleti, you played midday. It was like 32 degrees and so on and so forth. This game against Botafogo was later on in the day. Not nearly as hot. You've been in Los Angeles now for a longer time. You've got time to acclimatize yourself to the heat, the jet lag, all that stuff. So there's no excuse or any excuse that could be made. You can't be made because of how you performed against Atletico Madrid. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm seeing a lot of people use like the tired excuse. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, this was a Madrid fan. He tweeted European teams are absolutely knackered and out of gas. Some of these players are literally on their last legs and desperately need a break. The human body, la 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 la. I don't. I think this is just a narrative they're trying to create to defend the European teams for, not looking up to expectations, not looking as the people wanted them to look. No, these are
And I
just
agree with that
we're
last. I
coming
agree with
up
that
against
last
great teams.
sentence.
El Hilal is a great team. Botafogo is a
Yeah,
great team.
yeah. I agree
Strictly
with that
El
last
Hilal and
sentence.
Botafogo.
I
Which
agree
one?
with that last sentence on the tweet. Like, I think we'll see better performances from the bigger teams in the knockout
Yeah,
rounds.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
definitely agree there.
No, definitely the group stage. I mean, Tosin, even World Cup wise, let's go. Argentina. They lost in the group, right? France. I know France. The game that they lost in was the irrelevant, like lost group stage game. But we don't need. We shouldn't compare this to like UCL or something. We should compare this to World Cup, and this sometimes happens. They
Yeah,
just.
exactly. You're gonna
Like even
lose.
France, yeah,
I
even
remember
France.
Germany. I think they drew to the US 1-1 when they won in 2014.
Even France, and I mean, in 2018, they won their first two games, but that first game against Australia, it was like a penalty at the end. It was the
Yeah.
first VAR call ever that caused them to win. They didn't play good in that game. They won a 1-0 against Peru. It's like with these competitions, that's what we said. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Same thing with PSG this season. If you want to go in the Champions League,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
started off poorly, but it's about how you finish.
But
This
yo, can
So
we still finish first though? Like, is it really goal
Yes, yeah,
difference
yeah,
first
yeah.
or the
It is
head
goal
to head?
difference. Yeah, it is goal difference. It is goal difference.
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, we'll finish first then.
You think
We'll talk.
Atletico will beat Botafogo?
Yeah.
They, Botafogo have to lose.
You know
yeah,
what?
both of them have
I
to
don't. I don't
lose.
know. I don't know if Atleti, because I watched the Seattle game. Seattle were moving to Atleti, bro. That shit's sad as hell, bro.
Okay. We even got more information. Tiebreakers, group points, head to head. Oh, what? Wait, what? Here it says head to head, and this
Okay.
is Club World Cup. The other one is
Okay.
just
Head
FIFA
to head.
ruling.
Okay. Yeah. If it's head to head, then yeah, we can. Yeah, we're cooked. Yeah. So we're second.
But again,
Yeah, we're second.
that don't matter that much. But for me, I think the issue for us at the moment is that 4-0 Atletico. We were this high. We went from 5-0 Inter, 4-0 Atletico, and now 1-0 Botafogo. If we had beaten like Atletico, maybe 2-1, 2-0, and then gotten this with like, these games are tight in the group stage.
Yeah. But yeah, the front three just not been good so far. If I feel like Kvara is the only guy who's kind of
Yeah.
shown up a bit to start. But yeah, like Due, man, he just so many moves that he does that the game just doesn't call for. But like that little roulette, like he had one that he pulled off in the first half, right? But then there was the subsequent one in the second half where he did it in front of a defender, where Hakimi was just right there, like, and he just like he was just bullshitting, man. But Due's just gonna do what he does. But
And think about it, Tosin.
what
Last
did
time
affect
Dewey
him
did this
though?
bullshitting was like Arsenal. And then he had the Inter Champions League performance.
Yeah,
He got to step up, man.
nah, Due and Dembele though, they're really good together.
Oh, that's another thing. Okay, is it me or do you guys think that we don't use Barcola anymore? Like beginning of the
Yeah,
season,
like on ball, in terms of
yeah,
giving him the rock, we don't give him. We don't use it.
yeah,
He's just there to run.
we
Just
play,
we just
yeah,
tell him
we
to
play to
run.
Dewey, we give him to Baltafi, we gave it to Kavara, but we never go and give Barcola the ball. And I know obviously his dribbling is gone, taking a dip compared to last season and whatnot, but I mean he can still go and absolutely just burn you for pace and still is still a good dribbler on his day.
He's a great dribbler.
Exactly.
I
So
don't know what the fuck happened. I just don't know what the fuck happened from last season to this
but
season.
even just like in this game, I go and see like the amount of times I'm like just switch it to Barcola, play quickly to him, and allow him to take his man on. Like I thought he had a cheeky cameo when he came on. I thought he was decent.
Yeah, I screamed when that disallowed goal went in. But yeah,
No, I knew it was offside.
yeah, I didn't see it at first, but yeah.
But I mean, I'm trying to take the positives from this. Okay, I think PSG at times, sometimes I think we're just better when people are underestimating us or saying, "Oh, you're not all that good."
Yeah, we
Having
had
all
too
this,
much PR. You
yeah,
saw
all the P,
Botafogo, Brazilian fans, all of them were just dick riding us.
yeah. I mean, I guess it comes with the territory, so on and so forth. But yeah, I've always, even when I was going to, I was saying, wow, we have to stay humble. When I take it one game at a time, it's not a guarantee. Obviously, we come into this tournament as European holders, the best team in the world, and obviously we're favorites. But football can change really quickly, and that's what I always said. Even going on to next season, obviously we're favorites to go and potentially win the Champions League again. But we saw with Madrid last year. Let's use that as a warning that football can change extremely quickly, and that just
No,
we can't rest on our laurels. We can't rest on
we
our
have to
laurels.
we have to find we have to actually strengthen, man. I don't know what we need a backup for Vitinia in the system, and we need a backup for Hakimi in the system, and then we need maybe even a backup for Dembele in the system as well. If Ramos, you're going to sell him, so and you don't want a huge precipitous drop from the starters to the backups. Like obviously, there's going to be a drop, but you don't want it to be like
Glaring.
huge, like it's glaring like it is right now, dude. And that's what those first 55 minutes told us, man. Like it told us that Lucho's going to be very demanding in the Mercato. Like they're going to have to work on the Mercato, man, because it just wasn't good enough. Like Lucas, not good enough. Beraldo, why did he take that cursed number? I'm going to keep saying that. Like, why? Why did you take the number 4, bro? Krakowiak, Stambouli, Kabaye. Like you're just
Ugarte.
another bozo. Yeah, Ugarte, you're just another bozo. That like you're just gonna be another bozo. That's gonna be your legacy. Why'd you take that number?
No, because he has that mentality. You remember when he was smiling during that anthem? He wants to break the curse.
Nah, he always smiles during the anthem. He thinks it relaxes him, but I mean, he plays like shit regardless. So it ain't doing nothing for him. Like before, we thought, oh, yo, that's so cool. Like especially like in the Sociedad tie.
Yeah. Peak Beraldo. Well,
yeah.
But yeah, I guess we've been humbled. We're humbled now. We go in. I mean, I was still going to Seattle Sound. We have to fucking destroy them, man. No excuses. If Seattle Sounds, they're out. They're 100% out. They have no chance of going through.
So they're playing for pride. Honestly, that can almost sometimes be even more dangerous.
Nah, they're gonna get cooked. They're gonna get absolutely cooked. And that game's gonna be in Seattle, right? Fuck. So the team's gonna fly out probably tomorrow from LA all the way to Seattle. Yeah.
Lumen Field.
Yep, that's Seattle territory.
Is it? I just checked. Attendance for our game was 53K. 27 drop off from our first game. And then look at
it's because it's on a weekday.
Look at this. It's like average like 100, 200, and then look at this at the end. And like at least 60% were Barca fans. And the people that were trolling us the most on Twitter were Barca fans as well. I've never seen a hurt fan base as Barca fans.
You see, well, bro, oh my gosh, like this Barca agenda just keeps growing day by day, just keeps growing day by day. Like I'm like the amount of stuff I've been on a lot of TikTok lives with Barca fans going and saying, oh, Lamine Yamal for Ballon d'Or, so on and so forth, dismantling every single one of their arguments, talking about Lamine Yamal is not the best player in this league, not the best player. Even I keep hearing, oh, Lamine Yamal's created the most chance. Even in that, things like that. He's not in many of the things per 90 in the Champions League, in all the top 5 European leagues. He's up there. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but he's behind people like Doué in terms of like chances created per 90 in the European top 5 leagues. In the Champions League, in terms of big chances created, he's not even in the top 10. Like, yeah,
bro, he's not even the statistically, statistically, I'm just speaking on the stats. He's not even the best creator in his own team. Rafinha has all the best creation stats. He tops all the creations metrics for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you think so it's gonna be Botafogo PSG going through? Is that what y'all got?
I guess Botafogo are guaranteed. The thing is,
And then who do we
have
face in the round of 16? We could potentially face Palmeiras.
the Palmeiras or Inter Miami.
Inter Miami.
I mean, the
Or
thing is,
Porto. You think Porto still have a chance to go through?
so we're two.
Porto need to beat Al Ali, I think, on the final day, and then Inter Miami. If they win, they top the group against Palmeiras. I think Palmeiras win that. I don't know. We'll see. Or Inter Miami could win that also. Yo, man, I think it's shaping up for us to face Inter Miami in the round of 16. Inter Miami top the group. We come second. We go to Hard Rock.
Wait, Juno, do you think you remember when you did the Club World Cup predictions with Steve?
Wait, but which aspect?
It was one. I remember I was trolling heavily when we were going through every single team, and I was like, "Yeah, I know this player." Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember when it was.
Yeah, this is a while back.
Y'all think Flamengo beat Chelsea tomorrow?
I mean, after this, for sure. I think I predicted a draw for that game.
Bro, if Flamengo beat Chelsea tomorrow, we're going to have to actually really have a discussion about this shit. Like how much better are European teams than South American teams? This is really like the World Cup, bro. You know? Where an Iran can do some shit, a Morocco could do some shit.
Exactly.
Like, bro, this is really this really the highest level of club football.
We have to win it, man. We have to
win this shit, bro. We need to win this fucking trophy, bro.
Look, I'll say this now. If we don't win the Club World Cup, we have to win the Champions League.
You're not in this prestigious competition. Fuck out of here, Kool-Aid. You're not in this bitch.
Yeah, funny about. Oh my, yeah, no. Low-key, yeah.
Yo, thoughts on Mbappe getting the clap though? Like, you know that man got syphilis or something, and they saying it's a flu or whatever.
Maybe he's unfit. Maybe he's fat. Maybe he's just been drinking this summer and they're hiding him from the pitch.
Now, I'm actually glad that he's missed these games because I know he would have cooked up on Koulibaly old ass against Ali Lala shit. Bro.
Yeah, Mbappe lives. He lives for the group stage, man.
Yeah, he would have cooked up, and then they would have been like, Mbappe Ballon d'Or.
Oh, but the narrative is beautiful for them boys now. Imagine a Seattle game we're struggling. Let's go up.
Stop.
No,
stop.
Stop.
No. Yeah, no.
Not good.
No. Yeah, no.
That's disgusting, dude. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that.
I would sacrifice our nerves for them boys Ballon d'Or, man. We need it, man.
Nah, dude. Like struggling against Seattle Sounders is crazy, son.
I know you need
and
to pump.
Also with both games being played at the same time as well. That World Cup feeling.
I just hope we don't have us.
Yeah. Do you agree? Do you feel World Cup, but with clubs?
No, it's not. It doesn't feel. It's not the same vibe. It's not the same vibe. Like, I mean, in some sense, like this thing has been not what I expected, but also what I expected. Like when you look at the crowds, the buzz around it. It's not like, okay, obviously, you got your Barca fans going and saying, oh, but Barca needs to be in this tournament. This tournament is nothing with Barca. Like, that's disgusting narrative. But also, it's like, I mean, there's games and so on and so forth. I'll put them in the background and whatnot, but it doesn't have that World Cup feeling and whatnot. Like, I mean, I asked a lot of people here. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know that the Club World Cup was on." I think maybe from like the quarters onwards, or maybe the knockout stages, then people are gonna go and like really pay.
I'm talking more about like the feeling when I saw the result. Inter Miami beat Porto 2-1, Messi free kick. You know, Inter Miami are garbage. Inter Miami are not.
I knew
They beat
Messi was.
Porto.
Bro, I swear to God, I knew Messi.
I knew he was gonna score. I knew he was gonna score
scoring that free kick. I knew he was scoring that free kick. They're like pens for him, bro. I think he scored more free kicks than pens in his career.
Okay, no, maybe not that. Let's calm down.
No,
I swear.
actually, since 2018, he scored 34 free kicks, 33 penalties.
Okay, that's probably what the stat is.
Yeah, but that's insane.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
And he only gave us 2 free kicks. Fuck this.
Bro, we can't concede no free kick versus Inter Miami, dog.
Yeah, if we get a free kick. Thing is though, oh my, yeah, no, we actually can. If we get Inter Miami,
yo, they old as hell though. Like Suarez, bro, the way he be chasing, funny, bro. He has
game's
no
done.
legs.
He's the definition. Leave the football before the football leaves you. Holy smoke!
Yeah, he looks like a quadriplegic out there, man. It's insane.
And have you guys noticed now that we are, win the Champions League, best team in the world? People are always ready to cook us when we lose, like even more than before. They're just waiting, and I think it's like that for all the best teams in the world, because we get propped everywhere. People don't like it, like what's this PSG dick riding? And then when we lose, they're like, yeah, let's expose them.
I would say that I guess that's kind of natural. The thing is, it's
it's natural. It's just that we're used to it. It's back now. We're back to.
I mean, for me, a lot of it is actually I've been seeing a lot more of like discrediting the win or saying, sports washing, Qatar, or all the money you spent, or all of this and all that stuff. And then the thing is, like, I mean, I feel like I'm a broken record at this point. Barca against Barca. When they go and they talk about Lamine Yamal is more important to his team and so on and so forth. PSG don't need Dembele, etc. and so forth because they're able to smack Atletico Madrid. Because the thing is though, all of a sudden now they're going and saying, "Oh yeah, he has a better team around him." Wasn't them when Phil was coming on here, going and saying that no, his team is better than us. They were a better team than us. They play better football. They have all this, etc. So on and so forth. But then all of a sudden now they're saying, "Oh no, PSG have a better team." Of course, Dembele is better than him. He's surrounded by better players. All this stuff. It's just excuse after excuse after excuse.
I know, and they're propping our other players all the time.
Exactly.
You know how many times I've seen Vitinia Ballon d'Or?
Yeah. No, all of a sudden,
I like that you're pushing Vitinia for Ballon d'Or.
No, but they're not pushing. They're
both of them.
But they have an ulterior motive.
They have an ulterior motive. They're doing it to split the vote. They're doing it to split the vote.
Disgusting.
But shout out to Lucho though. Lucho stood on business. He's like,
yeah.
Like I think the whole organization.
I think they said that PSG they're gonna push the propaganda campaign for Ousmane Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
We can't. We're not gonna make the same mistake as Madrid. We're gonna put all our eggs in one basket. We'll say that.
Yo, is that true in the chat? PSG and Botafogo fans were fighting after the game.
Yo, lucky lie in this game. I mean, listen, it's obviously not going to count, but bro, we got ratioed in that stadium. We got ratioed. We got completely ratioed. I could barely hear any of our chants, but I mean, I'm not sure how many of our fans actually went and traveled, but yeah, we got ratioed.
Okay, yo. So say you was there as well. I forgot about it.
No, this team.
Okay.
If PSG lose to fucking Seattle Sounders, I'm coming after you.
Look.
We need to win.
Because they're European. I don't see them doing anything.
They got Mascherano as their manager from Tito Martino they had last season.
Wow,
Yeah,
Mascherano's the
Mexico's
manager of Inter
managed.
Miami.
Yes, and think of it.
All right. I'm gonna go with Palmeiras.
Yeah.
Porto. I
Yeah, for
think
me, Palmeiras Porto. I agree.
Inter Miami Al Ahly.
Inter Miami are making it through.
No, he said
No,
that one, two, three, four.
I'm saying
That's third and fourth,
Palmeiras
that's
first
last.
place, Porto second,
Okay.
Inter Miami third, Al Ahly fourth.
I don't really care about the rest. Okay, so you said the European team is making it through. The European team and South American team are making it through. Right?
Yeah.
Anybody disagree?
Not really, no.
Anybody in chat?
It'll be
What's your-
close.
What's your
You know what?
disagreement?
Let me go. I'm gonna do Palmeiras, Inter Miami.
Yo, Mo, what do you know? We don't.
The juice, man. Anyway, man, they're rigging it. They're rigging it, man.
Bro,
Wait, I thought I went with Ahly.
Pessy, man. It's the Pessy juice, man.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're gonna play home games. I'll say
Yeah, and it's not like Porto are really strong coming into this competition.
They-
This is one of the weaker Porto in years.
they struggled. Yeah, they've struggled this year.
you guys are
I'm not impressed. Bro, I watch football from around the whole friggin' world, bro. I'm telling
Like
you.
I promise you, Junior could not name 5 FC Porto players.
Yeah, I probably couldn't. Yeah.
So why you dick riding them when you know their ass?
No, because they're a European team.
So
Okay, man.
freaking Estaktoir are a freaking European team. You beat them 9-0 a few years ago.
Dominating in that group.
There's no contention here on who's going.
Yeah. Bayern, Auckland,
In that group. Big signed. What's his name? Of like I could just see like the Atleti striker that they signed. What's his name? Samu. Yeah. I can see Samu just dominating in that group.
Yeah, maybe. PSG, Atletico Madrid, Botafogo, Seattle.
All right, obviously there's no contention here on who's going through.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 2 European teams go through.
Bayern, Auckland City, Boca. All right, so
Here-
Benfica,
This is interesting.
Benfica pissed me off. I'm going.
Yeah, you see, we all skipped that. We all did that. We're all like that. PSG Atletico. PSG Atletico.
Bayern, first place. Second
Botafogo will top the group.
place, Boca. Third
Nah,
place.
for me,
Benfica.
I got Benfica going 3 seconds.
No, Benfica are not going through.
Bro, Benfica gave the scares to Barcelona, bro.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah. And then we
Wait, you
then we
already gone through Group B?
What, are you gonna? Do you have any?
Yes, Botafogo.
Yo.
Yo, who do you work for? Who do you work for? Who do you work for? Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, you actually got crazy knowledge. Nah,
What-
you actually
are you gonna-
got
do you have
crazy
any-
knowledge, bro.
Yes,
Like, actually,
Botafogo.
pause it,
Didn't
pause
they
it.
win the Copa Libertadores? Like that's pretty much the best South American team.
They are a really good side.
Weren't you saying like a while back that Atleti are like one of
I
the
think-
top teams in Europe?
Nah, I'm feeling the vibe now, man. I'm feeling
Bro,
the Club World Cup
y'all are
vibe, man.
delusional. Y'all are delusional.
R2
I'm just saying you have to respect. They're also owned by John Textor, the Leon owner.
Even further reasons why they're not making it through.
Nah, he's a genius. They got Alex Telles. Is that Alex Telles?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Baller,
to do
baller.
it.
Oh.
No, they're
I'm
gonna
gonna support all the South American teams.
just the juniors.
Or I'm saying Botafogo, PSG.
Okay, buddy.
I'll go PSG, Atletico Madrid.
PSG Atleti are making it through. All right, next Group C, Benfica.
Yeah,
and
Benfica are not
Bayern.
making it out of that group.
Benfica's making it through.
No, they're not.
Although I think that one could be
Bayern.
tight. That one could potentially be tight. That one, you know, might get you off your seat. Might have you thinking of getting off your seat.
Yep.
But still,
No.
Benfica and Bayern Munich are going through.
No,
Unless they decide to send the reserve team and like they have like everybody sick.
Benfica are not going to. Don't trust Benfica at all. Just don't. I watched them
Wait,
weekend.
is Jax Bagia? Is Jax Bagia in the chat? Is he a Barca fan?
I don't know.
Because if he's a Barca fan, that explains everything. You just hating from outside the club, bro. Like you're not in this shit. So, Group D,
Right,
Flamengo,
this is
I'll
interesting.
probably Flamengo and
Flamengo.
Chelsea.
Honestly,
Honestly, y'all, don't be surprised if Chelsea get packed up, man.
Bro,
I'm gonna say
buddy,
Flamengo.
buddy.
Club Leon. You know who Club Leon just signed? James Rodriguez. James.
Oh, yo, but they
James.
remember
If
they
he
had
decides to
to.
play, if he
They
decides to
checked
play.
out.
He
Remember,
plays tournament.
Yo,
Club
and he
Leon, they
could-
checked out. Remember
Yeah,
Club Leon? They had to leave.
They got like disqualified, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you see a report when they got disqualified? Barca called FIFA and said, "Yo, can we get it?" And they were like, "No, we give it by it's gonna be another CONCACAF team that replaces them." That's how desperate Barca was. No, Sochi, we can't finish first anymore. But we're not cooked. Because we're gonna face whoever finishes first from the Inter Miami group. So it's probably Palmeiras, maybe Inter Miami we face.
Hooked up.
These defenses.
Nottingham is making it through this group. Chelsea's definitely going through here.
Yo,
Even the Nottingham Forest.
Wait, we're forgetting that Chelsea could have a completely they could make upgrades in the summer because this tournament's going to be in the summer. So they could sign like a bad.
But it starts like 15 June, so only 15 days transfer window.
Yeah, we know how Chelsea do things.
I think they have actually FFP problems from a deposit. Like they spent so much the past 3 years, they need to sell before.
Yes,
No, they don't. They've been selling a lot of players.
Monterrey did sign this guy, this brother. Yeah, baby.
Oliver Torres.
Yes.
Really?
Nick?
Oh, sleeper in one today, bro.
One of Monterrey River Plates. I can't choose.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Most likely that team's gonna get knocked out in the next round. Proven right. So whoever you want.
Yo, why do you get this hatred against the Europeans, man?
Bro, when I get proven right, I can't even celebrate because it'll be so obvious. It'll be so obvious.
Junior, I swear on my life, if PSG lose to fucking Seattle Sounders, I'm coming after you.
For the love,
look, if we get knocked out, it just shows how serious this tournament is.
Seattle.
If we lose to Seattle Sounders, I'm putting a speeding bullet to my head.
Why? I thought Seattle is a great team. It's a great team, buddy, huh?
No, Seattle Sounders.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Relax, dude.
You know who they have actually? They have freaking what's his called? Who do I really
Things
like?
I actually also don't like as a Vancouver fan. I don't like the Seattle Sounders. So.
Oh, you're Vancouver. Okay. Yo, this kid's a baller, by the way. Open Vargas, baller, really good dunk player.
You're moving like your man. Yeah.
What was the score? What was the score?
This is a dope logo, by the way.
The score maybe like 4-1. Okay,
F.
Group F. Fluminense and Ulsan. I gotta pick one Asian team. Fuck Dortmund since last
Dortmund's
year.
making it through.
I'm not so sure, but I'm genuinely.
And then Fluminense. Bro, Dortmund were like close to making it in top 8 in the Champions League this season. They're not crazy far.
As the season.
Dortmund have been woeful in Bundesliga. Your league, bro. For me, league form tells me more about you as a consistent team, like more about a team than you in a cup. Even though it is in a league format, I get it, but it's 8 fucking games.
I would just say, what's the closest thing to this type of format in its previous Champions League campaigns and so on and so forth? And Dortmund's played plenty of them. And not to mention against better competition too. So
Dortmund's
going through.
Good Dortmund.
Unless like they get and they find some new virus in the States that they weren't aware of, they're going through. So I'll say Fluminense.
I'm going with Fluminense in the Korean team.
Hey,
Let's go Ulsan, man. Baby Ulsan.
Fluminense, yes. Thiago Emiliano da Silva. Vamos. I don't know why you're trying to force me coerce me into into choosing what teams I want to go and go through.
Okay. For real, for Group F, I'm gonna go Fluminense.
I don't think the other groups are important. But yeah, it's funny looking back at this. Man, that Seattle sounds if we lose to them.
Yeah, we actually need to win. We actually need to.
We get
No, there's no way we're losing to Seattle. Like you guys gotta stop this. Like
this can be a generational clip.
no, but genuinely.
No. If we lose, like I might actually go just not. I won't upload until the season, like until the Super Cup. Genuinely.
No, it's crazy how y'all didn't give a fuck about this tournament back in August. We had the vision. We had the vision on this channel.
Yes, sir.
About the Club World Cup.
Would you guys say is this bigger than the Nations League?
Oh, by far. What?
I agree. No, I agree.
I would say the main
It's
issue
bigger
with
than
the
Copa
Nations
America,
Junior
it's bigger than
is that
Copa
the
America.
Euros exist. That's the main issue, I think.
Bro, it's bigger
with the
than
Nations.
all the international tournaments except. Yo, it's low key bigger than the Euros. Too.
Okay, calm down.
Bro, I'm serious.
No,
I'm actually dead ass right now.
Is it bigger than CL?
World Cup, Club
It's
World Cup,
definitely
Champions
not.
League. World Cup, Club World Cup, Champions
Yeah,
League.
Mo, we forgot to shave your head.
And then Euros.
Okay, Tosin. No, calm on. But actually,
No,
don't
imagine in 8 years we're talking about this shit in 2033.
I think the fact that it's also the first edition of it also makes it makes it so it's not as big as it can be. Similar sort of to the first Nations League.
You know where they fucked up? It shouldn't have been held here in the States. Like it should have been held in Europe. If it was held in Europe with like more, palatable time zones, like with a more palatable time zone for like, people over there in Europe and Asia, Africa, like it would be much bigger. The stadiums would have been full as well. Like,
yeah, like a nation with football culture.
exactly.
Well, I also think that it's just FIFA's
And it
also
would've been
mucked it
big.
up. I also think FIFA mucked it up, going and putting these games. They're like middays, 3 p.m. games. Like,
No.
I mean, obviously, I think in Europe they probably would have felt. And also, the thing is, though, too, that they're going in like they're playing these games in huge, massive stadiums. Like, for example, the game that was our game today, for example, was played at the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl has a capacity of like nearly like 90,000, but there's only 55 that were there. But 55 is bigger than the Parc des Princes. So I also think they need to like sort of be cognizant of like there's no need to play these games at those massive stadiums.
Interesting that you guys mentioned about the next World Cup and America and everything, because I have some bad news. I don't know how reliable this report is, but FIFA is considering the USA to host the Club World Cup once again in 2029. The tournament could expand to 48 clubs and lift the cap to clubs per country.
My gosh, no. I mean,
wait, which one out of these two is the worst? That it's immediately going to become just like the World Cup, where they've updated from 24 to 48, or that it's going to be once again in America? Because then it's all about fucking money and, you know, building football in America and so on, rather than an actual football tournament.
I think I'd say the fact it's again in America, because you think America, they're gonna have this, they're gonna have like for even currently, for example, in the US, there's the Gold Cup that's happening right now.
Yep.
So I think that because you're gonna have what the previous World Cup. Pardon?
Isn't MLS playing as well?
Yeah, I think they're still playing. Yeah, I just think there's two. There's that. The fact the MLS are still playing. Like the US is just gonna have everything. They're gonna have this. They're gonna have the World Cup next year. They're gonna have the Olympic Games. The 20. Like, bro, come on.
Yeah, man, this is an absolute disaster. This news right here. Like, it just fucking started. Why are you revamping it again?
Yeah, I think you have to wait and see first and foremost how things, develop and unfold with the current iteration of the format before you have any hopes and ideals of, expanding further beyond.
No, it's just money. They was just want to maximize profits, more games, more money,
more
money,
games,
money.
Like imagine we have another season like this time, and you play the Champions League, and there's a Nations League before then, and you think maybe the Nations League also gets revamped, so they play like more games as well. It's like at some point, like we're already talking about fatigue to players, player health and safety.
They won't do that to the Nations League. In fact, hopefully the Nations League will.
No, but listen, they added quarterfinal, and they added the third place games.
Yeah, you're right.
But
and you also have to think that this thing by FIFA was literally it's a pissing contest between them and UEFA, saying who can build the better, the competition, so on and so forth. So they're gonna go and boost this, and the UEFA is gonna go and say, okay, no problem, we'll go and boost, do something else as well. Like I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years we're going to start, having Champions League games played, away. Like people have already flirted with having a Champions League final away outside of Europe.
Yep.
No, that's a joke. That's an absolute joke.
No, I think they're already planning next. Has next Champions League final been decided yet?
Yeah, Budapest.
And the one after that, has that one been decided? If it hasn't, that's the one they're planning to have in America, I think. 2026. 2027. By the way, Tosin, why haven't you gone to a game? The tickets are cheap as well. Like really broke.
They're not in my region, bro. They're in goofy ass cities like Seattle.
Wait, has any game been played where you at? Is there a stadium there?
Yes, there is, but they're not coming here, bro. The games are in, they're not in the real big markets,
They're in Atlanta, Miami, Seattle, Los Angeles, the New York, New Jersey area. I think those are the big markets traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but New York, New Jersey.
Maybe they give you Mamelodi.
That's where it's going to be big.
They give you Mamelodi Sundowns.
What group are Sundowns in?
Is that the intergroup? No. No, Dortmund Fluminense, Group F.
Oh, okay. Let me see if they played where I was at. Bro, yo, but what are you guys' thoughts on the African teams, man? Yo, they asked? Like, you just go say they asked?
I mean, I would say African and Asian teams are similar quality, apart from like Al Hilal, backed by the Saudi government. They're just not, they're just not on the quality. I would say, Tosin, what we got European domination. That's normal in a World Cup.
Bro, did
We
you see
got South
Amrabat?
American
Did you see
domination.
Amrabat, the older Amrabat brother, trying to cook for that Moroccan team against City? That shit was hilarious, man. But yo, they were actually good against City, by the way. They had more final third entries than City at a point in that game, bro. Like they were moving the City.
And even the goals they conceded right before and then disgusting Doku corner.
Yeah.
City weren't that good. But Tosin, it feels like we're missing like a Japan. We're missing like a Senegal. We're missing one cheeky African team performing and one Asian. But I don't. I mean, Asian you got Al Hilal, but Africa no. What Mamelodi Sundowns, Al Ahly, Wydad, and the Tunisian team all are not good. Yeah, it's unfortunate as all of us three Africans. Wow. Fuck the West, man. They've ruined Africa.
No, it's actually embarrassing trying to see them. Like Al Ahly were just they're the biggest embarrassment of all because they're like they have the historical shit on their side and shit. You know, like they got that. So you're supposed to show something. You're supposed to get like the best players on the continent on the team.
Yeah, and they've won 4 out of the last 6 Champions Leagues. Yeah, that's the thing, Tosin. African nations have way better players than African clubs. It's like basically there aren't any good players like playing at African clubs.
I'm sure there are though. I'm sure there are.
There are, but you got like that was my point back when we were recording those videos is that the gap between European teams and or European and South American teams
and then maybe add Al Hilal as well, just because of the money.
Just in terms like the gap in, for example, in terms of quality is more pronounced in the club game because at international level, you sort of just have to make do with what you have. If you go and you think, for example, in international football, a lot of the African nations can go and rely on the diaspora. So you think of your Algeria's, Morocco's, Cameroon, Congo, so on and so forth, can take French players, Moroccan players, or Dutch players, so on and so forth, that grew up in the West in Europe, but that have a family member who are ethnically African, so on and so forth, and have them represent their country, which means that like Hakimi, for example, is an example. Raheem Diaz, all these players are players who grew up, were raised in the European we'll go singing footballing education system, but then they decided to represent their African ethnic country. However, in the club game, you're not going to have that really happen unless, as you said, with Al Hilal. So that's why in the football game, it's the money is obviously in Europe, and so you don't really have migration going from like a player going and saying, "Oh, I'm going to go from Europe, go and play in Africa or in Asia," with obviously the exception being the Saudi Pro League or in Qatar if you want. That's why I'm saying that the gap.
It'd have been dope. It would have just been dope if some more Saudi clubs was in this bitch, bro. Like, Benzema's Al Ittihad and like Ronaldo's Al Nasser, man. That shit would have gone crazy.
Or Ahly, they won the Asian Champions League last year. Ivan Toney, Firmino, Mahrez team.
Yeah, that shit would have gone crazy, man.
But that's Tosin why they want to go. Did you see the report? It mentioned going to 40 teams and removing the 2-nation cap. So more English teams, more Spanish teams. So Barca can make it this time.
But at that point, like, hey, well, obviously there'll be other. It's basically going to become the Champions League with more.
Wait,
like,
wait,
nation-
what do you? Okay, so the tournament stinks, but you think City will win it?
Me.
No, I'm just sorry. I'm reading the chat. Sorry.
Oh.
But with the African thing, I think the Club World Cup is something that will improve the quality in Africa because some of the teams will be participating in this tournament. So maybe you see players joining like a 1 year just to be part of this Club World Cup, and there's a high
Yeah.
bonus percentage as well. So I think this will act like the African teams in coming tournaments will be better than these.
Potentially.
But it's mostly the South Americans. They're the ones pulling through. River Plate as well. They look good.
Like I remember I saw your video where you were reacting to somebody talking about how this Club World Cup could potentially, ruin the game, looking at the, financial aspect, but not on like the big teams, but on the small teams.
Exactly.
And it's like, but you could also potentially have the fact that like though the teams that are already dominant are just going to become more dominant. And you could sort of have, if you want, like, and I'm really stretching it here, but a pseudo, PSG Ligue 1 thing where these teams are way too strong for their domestic competition, their local, like domestic and continental competitions, but then when they come and face in Europe, they can't quite hack it. They don't have the quality of the big European powerhouses as well. So you could also have that. So you could just potentially create regional like mega superpowers, slap every single team there.
And they will lift like the football and the culture in that country. Could be like a domino effect, and then everything else improves.
I guess, but that's like going to like has PSG, the fact that PSG have been so dominant, obviously it's brought eyes to Ligue 1, but it's mostly done is just brought eyes to PSG. Like obviously there's going to be some fans, a very small percentage, that because of PSG and watching Ligue 1 and watching Messi and watching Neymar come and the M&M and so on and so forth, are then going to be interested in, I know, a Dijon versus Saint-Etienne game. But that's not the vast majority of people.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and I think in the future, another like adaptation they will do is, I could see them do it every 2 years.
I mean, yeah,
I could see that happening.
I also just think that obviously, like, we obviously love to watch football. I also think like, I know maybe you guys feel differently. There's so much this like football fatigue, right? Like you go and you think like normally, like, because I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but especially on French TikTok a lot, like they've been saying, non-PSG fans have been saying that PSG fans have been like some of the most humble winners of a Champions League, because we won our thing. Obviously, the first couple of days we had it, but then as soon as it's done, like we haven't been really like bragging about our European champions.
Yeah.
Some aspect of that is, I think we're a pretty humble fan base. We don't brag so much, but I also think the fact that number one, there's other propagandas. The Ballon d'Ors. There was the Nations Leagues right afterwards, and on top of that, then the Club World Cup. Is that like we celebrated that, and then right afterwards, the disgusting the Yamal, semifinals, Nations League, all that, and then after that there was the final, and then all of a sudden now you're in the Club World Cup. So we haven't had this time to if you want to just have an entire summer,
settle in.
You have to just celebrate us winning the Champions League and really have it set in.
That's fine, because we're gonna win the Club World Cup, and everything will then set in.
Justin, our path now will look stronger if Ian here is correct. It looks like we play like Inter Miami, Palmeiras around 16. Okay. Then we play Bayern. Then we play City, and then we'll play Madrid in the final.
That's
if Madrid finish first in their group. That would be an insane run.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
Let's see. I'm gonna be really interested in seeing how Bayern actually play.
No, Bayern are fugazi. This is just like how they beat Shakhtar Donetsk? They put 9 past them in the early portion of the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they are. That's what they do. They're stat pad kings. But when the game gets tight, when assholes get tight, that's a different type of pressure.
Who do you guys think? If there was a PSG versus Real Madrid final, who do you guys think Barca fans would support?
Oh, they're cooked either way. They're in hell either way. They were in hell with us versus Inter.
No, I think most of them were supporting Inter.
Yeah, but I mean, still, there were probably a sizable minority of them that like did not want Inter to win. Like, did they look at the history of Inter Barca over the years, like 2010, for example, or like the group stage where they set them to champions to Europa League, like.
Yeah, but for them, it's like, bro. I mean, low key, because I'm not sure if you guys know the he's a content creator called Mishi. He's I think Venezuelan, Iranian. He's a Barca fan.
Oh yeah. I'm subscribed to that dude.
Yeah, him. So I mean, he recently got.
He's a straight PSG hater.
Exactly. So he was asked. So one of the teams, I'm going to ask him. He was doing like a Q&A, like for 20K, so on and so forth. He was asked, "Do you hate any teams?" And he's like, "Yeah, I hate PSG." He said, "I dislike Madrid because it's Barca, but he doesn't hate them. He hates." I think there's a lot of Barca fans that are like that hate PSG. That is crazy because obviously, like, listen, on our side, you have our ultras basically going and saying that Marseille are no longer proper, like they're not a proper rival team, so on and so forth. But for Barca, they have eternal ops, domestic ops. Like that was political. But some of them are going saying they hate PSG more. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Like I think there's going to be some genuine.
No, I agree. You're not wrong, dude. Like we're the most hated club.
No, I think definitely not a point. I'm confident saying PSG is the most hated club. That's okay.
No, it's also
all it
about,
takes is for days like this. All it takes
time.
is for days like this.
They've been bad for a long time, and I think they blame a lot of the bad time on PSG. Took Neymar, took Messi, took Dembele.
But they got 220 million.
Yeah, so it's always funny how it's always funny how they like to mention that PSG was able to put Gonzalo Ramos, who costed them 80 million and whatnot, however much it was, and then they have 65 million, and they're able to have Kolomani, who they set on loan for 90 million on another
75
team.
75
million and is on another team, and they're still able to go and spend what's the number for Kvara? Because I heard 70, yeah, and they're still able to spend 70 for Kvara in the winter transfer window and all this. But it's like, okay, when they were going and spending 100 plus on Dembele, who they consider themselves to be a flop, on Coutinho, on Malcolm, I'm not forgetting people like that, and they were getting grouped, getting sent to the Europa League, so on and so forth. We don't talk about that. It's whenever PSG go and splash the cash. It's anti-football games gone, so on and so forth. It's all this, all that, printing FC.
No, Premier League clubs spend the most, though. It's not even close.
Yeah, but like when Liverpool went, they spent 150 for Verts. You don't hear that. Football, they're ruining football, so on and so forth. It's they paid that. That's the price they've paid.
Man, I love Verts, but that's a wild. He's not 150 million worth. That's nuts.
But how much did Caicedo go for?
Yeah, he's not worth that either. Declan Rice not worth that either.
Yeah, but then you could also make the case that like Neymar wasn't worth 222 million.
He was worth that. He was worth every penny.
No, I think he's like I think
that player, like that once in a generation talent, where he looks like he's walking on water when he plays. Bro, he was worth that. He was worth that release clause.
Would you say that Mbappe was worth 189 million?
100%.
Yeah. And one thing with Neymar that people don't mention.
No, we were the only club. We were the only club that were smart. Look at the top 10 transfers in history. We were the only club that made the right decision. Ney for 220, Mbappe for 180. People were gonna say you didn't win the Champions League. Fine, but it was still part of the journey. And to be honest, I think they paid back that transfer fee and more, especially what they brought to the club. So all these other clubs, the fucking 100 million for fucking, 120 million for Joao Felix, all that shit. Coutinho, Dembele to Barca. Those are the fuck ups.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Mo, on TikTok Live and whatnot, your little my nickname for Lamine Yamal, it gets Barca fans absolutely riled up. Oh my goodness! Every single time, like I'll go and put a good argument, I'll go and finish it out with Doug Mall, and they're like, "Stop saying Doug Mall! Stop saying Doug Mall!"
Nah, it's so catchy. Suits him actually. It suits him.
Doug Mall, Doug Barcy, Doug Dred. What a term! What a term!
But yeah, we'll be back, man. We'll be back. Next game, luckily, isn't that far away from here. PSG will be playing versus Seattle Sounders. Well, Monday. Usual
Monday,
time.
Yeah, Atleti are pretty much out. Like, I don't see how they.
They gotta beat Botafogo, Tosin, and I think no, it's head to head. Yeah, so they gotta beat Botafogo. But this thing, Tosin, if they beat Botafogo and we win, how does head to head work then?
Well, we go through, we beat them.
We beat who?
So actually,
Because then it's head to head. Win. It's like this.
Yeah.
I think that case afterwards,
Then goal difference.
Yeah, goal difference.
Yeah.
So we can still finish first.
Ooh,
So yeah,
that
so
would
we
be
want Atleti to win. We want Atleti to win.
Vamos, upa Atleti.
So long, obviously, as we do the job on our end, and we need to win big.
Yeah, we got 3+. Botafogo got 2+. Atletico Madrid are basically fucked goal difference. They're -4. No,
That 4-0.
minus
that
2.
4-0.
-2.
That 4-0 helped save. We still got to play goal difference of
Wait,
3.
if Atletico beats Botafogo 2-0, then Botafogo and Atletico Madrid's goal difference will both be 0-0. And then I think they look at goals scored. And that's Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
And I want to see how many games will they do. So they will do 1 game. Okay, so they will do 2 games per day for the third group stage game. So 1 at 9 p.m. our time and 1 at 3. So for you, Tosin, 1 is what, 3 p.m. and the other is 9
That's
p.m.
2 p.m. Yeah.
2 and 8. Look at these games: PSG, Seattle Sounds, Atletico Botafogo, Porto, Al Ahly, Inter Miami, Palmeiras, Auckland City, Boca Juniors, Benfica, Bayern, Juventus City.
Dang. Do you guys reckon we could see some things of? You know what? This is giving me vibes of last year Champions League final game Dortmund. I just hope that, because like we had the destiny in our own hands. If we won the game, we topped the group.
Yeah.
And you ended up drawing the game, and it's like you needed help from the other game, but you ended up being okay. At this point, let's first just qualify. But I want to win. Actually, no, screw that. We need to win.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just some small stuff. And these two look Brazilians as well. They could all be Brazilians.
Do you guys think if we go the further we go, do you think that the ultras are going to travel?
I mean, No. You know what? I want us to show that we can win without them, man. They need that, man.
Yes, sir.
They need that humbling pie.
No,
They always think they're like this crucial part of us winning and everything. Like they overrate their impact. That's not to underrate their impact. No, I love what the ultras do. I love the passion, the atmosphere that they bring, but the way they talk about themselves, no. But no, I would love them to come actually from like quarterfinals, semi, and final. Could be Mexican, yeah.
Man, I hope there's some news on Dembele and his return.
Yeah, Dembele still isn't training with the group.
No, he did. He did. He trained with the group, and then 30 minutes before the end, he left to go
Okay.
do some more individual stuff.
Yo, John Texter definitely texted Nasser something.
Yeah.
Like, hey, cowboy, terrorist.
No, he did. He went crazy. He went crazy on the mic.
Yeah, he was on FaceTime and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I actually love their beef.
I don't think they have beef anymore.
Yeah, I think it's just friendly banter at this point.
And I loved Khvicha's passion as well. Like, he showed he wanted to win today.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, probably the only one who showed he wanted to win.
Question for you guys: how high do you guys think Kvicha should finish in the Ballon d'Or this time around?
At least top 10.
Top.
Maybe.
I think maybe just about top 10.
Top 15. He'll be top 15.
Yeah, because like on the score 90 and whatnot. Like, okay, if we going with
No, not score 90.
Yeah.
Wait. No. That's not good. Wait, we're gonna find one. Wait, did I make a video about it?
The second highest place, I think the second highest placed PSG player will probably be Vitinia. He's got the most PR right now.
True.
Wait. Let me find.
And then Nuno Hakimi, that's a toss up.
No, I think Hakimi should be ahead of him.
It's a toss up, bro. Because
For me, honestly, like
the Nations League thing going for him.
True. Well. For me, honestly, though, like I think it should be our three best players this season, or I think it should. Number one is Dembele, obviously. Dembouz. Number two, I would put Hakimi. Number three, Vitinia. Number four, Nuno. That's how I rank mine.
Okay, so this was straight after the Champions League final. Dembele, Donna, Vara, Due. And Nuno's made a good push as well.
There's no Vitinia on that.
No. Yeah, and Vitina's made now a push as well. Let's see if they
go to Polymarket. Can you search that Polymarket Ballon d'Or odds?
What's Polymarket? Is it a Twitter account?
They're a trading company that
it's like the betting odds
predictions, yeah. And they provide odds.
Yeah, Dembele 67% chance of winning.
Vitinia, wow.
7.
Donna, Nuno, Due. Wow, they don't even have Kvara.
Damn.
Before Mez, I used to have Rafinha, Yamal, and Pedri like high up, but because of how the season ended, losing the Nations League, losing the Champions League, there has to be a punishment. There has to be consequences. So no, I think I could potentially see I see all of them dropping down. Pedri could be as down as like 8th, 9th.
You think we could get 2 PSG players in the top 3?
If we win Club World Cup, yeah.
Yeah.
I think like Dembouz, Vitinia probably.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. That'd be so.
It's just funny. I remember it was
And then the following year we need to aim for 3. Dembele, Due, Kvara.
Next year's World Cup, that's the only issue. It will be extremely decisive. Ooh, maybe like a Dembele, Kvara, Mbappe. Like France win the World Cup, PSG win the UCL. Dembele wins his second Ballon d'Or. Mbappe next to him.
Bro, if Dembele wins 1, he's gonna reel off a couple. I'm just saying, because it's just like the Champions League that we just won. We win this Champions League, he's gonna reel off a couple. If Dembele wins the Ballon d'Or, he's gonna reel off a couple. Man.
you guys see Dembele finishing his career at PSG?
European career, yeah.
Well, Dembele just like he said it himself that he plans on retiring like 33, 34.
Yeah, then he'll retire PSG player.
Yeah, and it's not like Neymar is gonna go back to Brazil or something. Like Dembouz is already home.
Yeah.
What club did he? Apart from Stade de Rennes, did he have some small club before that?
Well, he's at Evreux, which is just like a local club. I think growing up he was a Barca fan.
No, who told you this?
Well, no. He also supported PSG as in like he was like Messi, sort of like that. But also apparently he supported PSG when he was young, supposedly. But
Did you see him go to Rennes then? Maybe.
going back, no. I mean, maybe potentially to like sort of round it up. Because he also like unlike
PSG's that's the real club of his heart.
it's like Doué, for example. I could see Doué going back, but if like Doué were to stay for a really long time at PSG, I could see Doué going back to Rennes because or even a Barcola going back to Lyon because
I don't see Barcola going back to Lyon.
I think he potentially could.
I don't see him.
I think after a long enough period of time, I think he could go back.
No, I don't see that. Not after what they said to him and shit.
But like a Doué, for example, he got into the Rennes academy system like when he was 8. Like he was like really, really young when he got in. Dembele went like for his what they call a formation. I think he got into that like 14, 15. He got there much later.
Exactly. So he's a PSG guy. Dembele's a PSG guy. Maybe the Doué Rennes thing, I can see it, but Dembele, he's just like, look at his tweets from like 2012, 2013. David Luiz tweets, Thiago Silva tweets, Ibra tweets. Like, he was a fanboy, bro. He was watching PSG, in their heyday.
Honestly,
at the start.
Because I was in Paris last week. That's why I haven't really been on account. There's one thing that I don't get, honestly, about the city of Paris. Is that I think Paris is potentially the only city in the world. Okay, one of a big, footballing cities that you'd have that where a significant portion of like the footballing fans there support a non-French club, support Barcelona or Madrid. There's a huge percentage of people that support Barcelona or Madrid in Paris, and like. I can understand it for like people who are like older and who grew up on Messi or grew up on like when PSG wasn't all that good, so on and so forth. I can get that, but like people round about our age, late-ish millennials, Gen Z, and so on and so forth. Like you knew PSG with Zlatan, you knew PSG with the Ibras, Cavani's, the Pastores, Verratti, and then obviously the Mbappe era as well. So you knew a PSG that was good, but then you still go and you support Barca. I mean, at the end of the day, obviously you can support whoever you want, and there's no issue with that. But like I just find it funny that I don't think I'll ever see a Madrid fan in Madrid who was born and raised in Madrid supporting like Southampton or supporting Arsenal.
Yeah, but that's because like Paris is one of the only, before PSG was like got bought by QSI, one of the big cities that doesn't have a big club.
Yeah.
It's the same with Berlin, for example, in Germany. I think most people in Berlin support other clubs. They don't support Hertha Berlin or Union Berlin, for example. But
do you think
that is changing, Junior, now? I think all the new generation now, especially with us winning the Champions League, France as well being great as well. Yeah, no, I think most of them are going to become PSG tied. Dembele French as well. And the club is becoming more French as well.
Yeah. Like, I remember it was during the cooling break at in the second half. You listened to Lucci was giving instructions to Doué. Like he was doing it in the French was sounded broken, but he's actually truly properly making an effort.
Wow.
He was giving instructions, he's going and saying it was a bit like broken but he was giving instructions in French. So no, big respects to Lucho. That's why even like honestly, that's why even people like I like really like Nuno. I really like especially Vitinia because Vitinia's French is like really, 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 really good. Vitinia has like the potential of being a generational club legend at PSG.
No, Vicinia's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant ambassador for the club. Like he's definitely like I know he's a guy with a lot of depth, man. Just from that interview I saw with him, with Rio Ferdinand, like, yeah, I knew this is a guy with a lot of depth to him, man.
I'm calling it now. Vitinha is going to be a future sporting director or some going to have some high role at PSG. I can say that, unless he goes to Porto. But
what you think about Thiago Silva? You think have you seen him? I think he's been working. I think he's working on becoming a manager, Thiago Silva.
Oh, 100%. I mean, everywhere he's gone, people have said like whenever like players get asked who's the most likely to become a manager, so it's been Thiago Silva. I think he's gonna go and do it. Thiago Silva, what a player, man.
No one ever saw Zidane as a manager. Do you think someone like Mbappe or Dembele would be a manager?
The thing is, Chouameni he has his podcast and he had Dembele on it, and he asked him specifically like, "Do you think he ever could become a manager?" Because he asked him specifically because he's like one of those really big into like FM football manager, and Dembele's like, nah. He's like, I think Dembele is just like a chill guy. Generally, he's there to play his game, plays football, and afterwards he wants to get out of football.
You say nah, but that's probably how Zidane was like in his playing career, like
potentially, yeah.
And then, like all his Juve teammates, like Del Piero, they said. I remember Del Piero on ESPN FC said he never thought that Zidane could ever be a coach when they played together. Like he never thought that could ever happen. Like he was just the most, chill guy. Like he never his behavior never corresponded to being, a leader of men or like a leader of a locker room. Mm-hmm. Which is crazy. Like he more so leads on the field than off the field.
I can see if actually, you know what? The more and more you think about it, you go and you look at, for example, Dembele. You look at like I watched back some of like the tape, like the thing that you were going and showing me that moment you had on that Instagram thing, from Twitter thing of like Dembele like getting angry, like talking to the players, so on and so forth. I could potentially see in Dembele as a coach. I think you do cheeky, sort of like do a Thiago Motta. He goes, gets his coaching badge, starts, coaching the under 15s at PSG, and the under 17s, and the under 19s, and maybe he gets into the assistant coaching staff, and bit by bit, you never know.
You think Cristiano or Messi could be coaches? You think Messi could be a coach? Or a sporting director?
No.
You think Messi
I feel like I genuinely feel like Messi, after football, he's done with football. I think he could just leave it. He'd be done with it. Like,
no, I think he there's always that thirst for more, just to do something as a man. That's the thing.
Like, do you think Messi's like some tactical like? I think like there's been like rumors and whatnot, like if Messi like literally before games he's on his phone, chatting. So like he's not. I'm not saying he's not tactical and whatnot. He can bring that. Messi has ridiculous IQ, but I don't think like. I just think it's not a bother for him. Like go and do what? Like he's already ridiculously rich. I think he probably could go into something else. I could see, like, if I had to guess, I'd say Ronaldo's probably more likely to go and become a manager than Messi, 100%.
Yeah, can you see Ronaldo ever doing like punditry, being like a sports commentator? Cristiano, like what Tom Brady does.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's already got like his own YouTube channel and whatnot. Talks about like when he goes on podcasts with with Rio Ferdinand. So yeah, I could definitely see that.
Fabian's a good shout in the chat, man. Fabian is a future coach. But yeah, I mean it's That's as many as I could think of right now. Messi would be like Jordan of the Horde. It's trash.
Dang, I haven't even been on Twitter or any of the other things. Thing is, I don't know what Barca fans can't really chat. They're not here. That's the good
Yeah.
thing.
And even Madrid fans were trolling. Like, you didn't win. I mean, yeah, they didn't lose, but
Dang. Bro, I feel like the more and more that I've been in football, the more and more just agendas you pick up. Just the more and more. Like when I was young and whatnot, I low key, had a soft spot for Barca. I didn't really have, the deep Madrid agenda.
I never liked Barca, man. But I appreciated them at their peak, though. Like watching them at their peak was like, dang.
No, I
something looks so symphonic like it. This is like a symphony.
I was a Barca casual. I could low key say I was a Barca casual. Like for me, I like the remontada, because I didn't even watch the game live because I was in school and whatnot, and I just saw the scores like all up. At that time, I was still like a sympathizer for the MSN era. It was only really
MSN. You were okay. Yeah, during the MSN era, I fucking hated Barca.
Oh really?
Yeah, I could stand Barca.
No, I love because
I hated
love
the fact that they also had Neymar too. As like. It's hard for me to root for Neymar because he's at that shit club. I had the same thing with Dembele, bro.
Really?
Dembele was my guy, bro. Stade Rennais, Dortmund. Then he went to Barca. I was like, oh, this is so gross. I can't rock with this guy for a bit.
Yeah, no, for me, like, look, I didn't have any issues with Barca. Obviously, there's like the remontada, there was sour things. Now, though, bro, I mean, yeah, no. Like, low-key, I'm saying it, Barca fans for me are worse than Real Madrid fans. Barca fans are the worst fans in the... Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, it's like, by almost a fair mile point at this point. Like, Arsenal fans could potentially match them in terms of delusion. It's just the fact that the sheer number of Barca fans.
And think about it. When have Barca fans been the worst this season? It wasn't even when they were really good in the group stage. It's when they lost to Inter.
Yeah.
Ever since they've lost to Inter, that's when they've become the most disgusting.
Yeah, that's the mark. That's the mark. That's not the mark of a big club. That's why Barca are genuinely a small club.
Yeah. Like when we lost to Dortmund last year, we just became quiet. Like
Exactly.
it never happened. And we're focusing on next season.
Yeah.
You know another small club as well? Arsenal.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Small club.
You've
Like,
seen
that's what I'm saying.
Compare
It's-
Arsenal to Liverpool. Compare Arsenal to Liverpool. Like Liverpool, after they took the L, they took it like honestly, bro.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, they were actually pretty gracious, man, in defeat.
Yeah.
Compared to fucking Arsenal fans, bro, and Barca fans.
No, I think for me, Barca fans were even worse. Like
Barca fans after the PSG tie. Remember that tie back in 2024? How they were crying about the red card. That's all they cried about. The red card.
Nah, for me, even then, like, I think I went back. For me, it was like, I don't know how maybe you guys felt, but it felt like when we won that game against Inter, I genuinely feel that Barca fans were more angry than Inter fans after that loss. Seriously, some of them were more angry because every single Barca fan video I was seeing, Mishi, all of that, they were going and saying, like some of them wouldn't even go and say congratulations to PSG. They go and say, "Oh, congratulations to Luis Enrique because he's a former Barca manager." But he's not congratulating. It's like it should have been us. It should have been us. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like in that when I was like the first couple minutes of that Dortmund game, I was like, come on, that really should have been us. But at that point afterwards, I'm like, in my post game, I was like, Dortmund beat us 2-0. Yeah, obviously we're unlucky. We hit the post, we hit the bar, we hit every single thing imaginable, but we lost fair and square. What Dortmund went, scored at home, scored against us away, and we couldn't score a single goal. They beat us fair and square. But Barca, it's all like they're going and saying, "Oh, but we had injuries." How like I was on a TikTok live, they're going and saying, "Oh yeah, how about you guys play without Hakimi and Nuno Mendes? How would you guys feel? Would you guys get through them, or would you guys get through the game against Arsenal or Aston Villa if you guys don't have Donnarumma?" It's like, yeah, maybe even if they're not there, are they not PSG players? Like, are they not part of your team? Like, it's just man.
No, Barca fans are good at doing the blame game.
The blame. They're like us fans. Next season FC, excuses FC. Like even Madrid fans when they got clapped
They
by.
have their scapegoats. It's Araujo and Ter Stegen.
Yeah.
So now if both of them leave, we'll see who the new scapegoat is, right? Like that's just what it is, man. It's just a revolving door.
Although there are obviously still some like actually like lucid, reasonable Barca fans out there. Like for example, I heard one Barca fan going and saying like that. If they're honest, they were saying like amongst the Barca community, if they were honest and like consistent about it, if Araujo had done half of what Doug Barcy had done, this guy they would have wanted him guillotined. They would have wanted his head. Like obviously,
Kubarsi's a fraud, bro.
I don't want to go and get because he's playing a difficult role. He's a center back, and especially as playing as a young center,
he's not.
But I'm sorry,
is he as impressive as what De Ligt did in with Ajax?
No.
It's not. It's nowhere near.
I guess De Ligt was older.
I guess now he's a bum now. De Ligt's a bum now, but it's still. But it was nowhere near what he did.
I guess you'd argue what De Ligt was older. He was what? How old is Kubarsi now?
18.
No, he was 19. Right? In that big when his breakout, he was 19.
De Ligt, how old was De Ligt during that Champions League run?
When he was captaining, I'm pretty sure he was 19.
Okay. But Kubarsi's nowhere near that level. Like he was actually leading that whole defensive line. Kubarsi ain't been doing that. That's what Inigo been doing. Like De Ligt was way more impressive.
Like he's good on the ball and whatnot, 100%. But it's like as an defender, like you could look
like De Ligt had like Daily Blend as his center back partner. Oh my god! Like I don't even know how that even worked at the Champions League level. Bro, he was way more impressive than
Doug Barcy.
Yeah.
At least the first thing we can get away with. Even most Barca fans, even they've admitted that the Golden Boy, it's over. It's over. The Golden Boy, it's done. We will get them to admit that. It took a lot of convincing, but eventually they succumb. The thing I don't understand, some of them genuinely go and have an issue.
Golden Boy 2025, Desiree Doué. Golden Boy 2026,
Sini Mayulu.
There you go. That's what it is, man.
Scenario number 1, Warren number 2. Warren's gonna have a comeback season. Warren's gonna come back.
No,
Warren's gonna lock in.
Warren is.
No, we gotta believe in Warren. Gotta believe in our own. No, but I don't genuinely. I do not understand. So some of them are going and saying that like Desiree Doué robbed the young player of the season for the Champions League, saying that the only reason he got it is because of recency bias because of his Champions League final. When I heard that from Russia, the amount of times I like genuinely died of laughter when they were mentioning recency bias for that.
For a Champions League final, the biggest game.
Football. Like I was going and saying, I thought it was going to be pretty easy to accept. I said that Desiree Doué Champions League performance in the final is the greatest ever performance in a Champions League final, and they're going and saying, "Oh no." They're saying, telling me Ronaldo against Juve 2017. Obviously, one of the big ones is 2011 Messi versus United. But I'm like, well, I'm sorry. Desiree Doué got 2 goals in the Champions League final.
Oh, damn. They're whipping us off the field as well.
Hey.
That's crazy.
He's cooking with the cap there. Again?
He's really cooking. Nah, look at the baby punches, bro. Is that even a punch?
Ooh.
Okay. Okay, Cholo.
Hey.
Oh shit!
Shucks!
This nigga cooked. Oh my god!
Oh,
that man felt like Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. Oh, secret. I recently got a You guys know the recently this season they came out with a like a PSG like sort of varsity like blue and yellow varsity jacket.
Yeah.
I was able to snag a pair in my size. It is actually really. Hold on, let me bring it out. This PSG logo.
Ooh, Jordan. Oh no, Nike.
This is just the Paris. It's actually really nice.
Yeah, that's fire, dude.
PSG could legit stop playing football and just become a brand.
Yeah, become a brand 100%.
And they will be one.
No,
of the
we're
biggest
both
brands.
though. We're both.
Yeah. No, people can't even do
That's
the
why we're
gimmick
the- that's
anymore.
why we're
Oh,
the
you're
biggest-
just a clothing brand.
That's why we're the biggest club in the world.
Yes,
That
sir.
explains what. That's why we're the biggest club in the world.
Wait, so I have a question for you. Who would you go and say as an individual, as a person, PSG fan, personally for you, not based on historics and whatnot? Who would you say, in your eyes, are PSG's biggest rivals? This can include your personal biases and your experiences.
We have no rival. People want to rival us. That's the thing. Like they want to rival us instead. Like Marseille is a historical rival. Lyon, they're a bit of a rival as well. But that's on the domestic side of things. European side, like Barca fans, they just want to pick fights. Madrid fans, they want to pick fights. Bayern fans, they want to pick fights.
Bayern fans.
That's all. Yeah, Bayern fans be hating. They be hating, bro.
I mean, go.
And then the whole Premier League, obviously, the whole Premier League.
Prem-tards.
But to be honest, Prem-tards don't really care about PSG like that. To be honest, they're only
boasting their own.
Yeah, they're
league.
just each other's. Yeah, exactly. They're with each other. But yeah, it's mostly been the two Spanish teams, Barca, Madrid.
So, like for you, is the two Spanish teams, Barca, Madrid? Would you say they're bigger rivals than Lyon, Marseille?
That's the thing. They look at us as rivals. That's the difference. Like the domestic rivalries, we don't look at Madrid and Barca. Do we look at them as rivals? Like,
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say so. Yeah.
I don't look at them as rivals, dude.
I would say
I just think we're in rarefied air, man. I just think we're in our own. We're in our own sphere. You know what I mean?
I just think just basically
like we're in France. Like why you beefing? Like we in France. Like, and they just Madrid fans. You saw how cringe they were throughout for multiple years. Like start with Neymar and Mbappe. Barca, same shit with Verratti included. Marquinhos, Thiago Silva. Like they just always been on our nuts. Like we don't go frolicking for them. Like we don't go say, oh, we need this Madrid player. Okay, we do be cooking up Barca though. I ain't gonna lie. The Barca are our bitches. That's just all it is. Like it's just that's the footstool club, unfortunately. On and off the field.
How did you take the recent Dogmal? Well, I guess not. I was gonna say rumors, but what's been coming out on him?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I know that's the kind of person it is. For me, it's more the 31 thing. For me, Junior, it's more how people have reacted to the narrative that are being created to defend Yamal, calling him a minor and he's 17 and he's being manipulated and like
that's
he's a victim.
Absolute nonsense.
Like he's a victim. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. They're trying to make him a victim. That's such bullshit, bro. Come on,
look
bro.
at this old woman abusing him and everything.
That's fucking.
No, Yamal wants this as much as her. But
yeah, he just wanted some. That's all. He just wanted some play. That's all it is.
For me, it's just the people defending him. That's why I hate. Like they all started blaming his dad,
making a big deal out of it. Oh man, like he's a minor. Just shut the fuck.
Yeah. Like okay,
corny ass up, bro.
Like, oh, if this was a woman, I couldn't care less whether man, woman, say different age, something. No. Look, people were mad at Yamal.
If it was
for being with his
reversed, if it was
30-year-old
reversed,
more
if it was
than she's a
reversed,
porn star.
if it was reversed, yeah, like of course it's fucked up. But come on, bro, double standards. This is just how it goes. We have to be honest about double standards. Okay, a young nigga want a milf. That's all it is. Who cares, bro? Like,
think he's getting
Well,
what?
they're saying he doesn't want to. He's just
yeah, they're saying,
tricky.
as if he got raped or something. Like what the fuck?
And the weirdest thing, he was liking pictures and commenting as well when he was like 12, 11.
Yeah, exactly. He was probably gooning around that time.
No, I mean, I've said it before. I think Lamine Yamal has to be really careful because I think even like before the Euros and whatnot, I think he's seen a really positive light, and whatnot. But I think now, especially if he continues, especially with the provoking of opposing teams, going into games and whatnot, talking the fair play stuff and so on and so forth, like the stuff that they've gone and done to go and like defend Lamine Yamal and so on and so forth. Like I remember, when he like left early for the trophy lift for Portugal, like they're going and saying, oh yeah, but Real Madrid, they did the same thing when they lifted the Supercopa. It's like, okay, that doesn't make what Madrid did is okay. And also the difference between them, and I've said it, is like when Madrid did it, you go and you look at the video, the entire team, left, was getting ready to go. Doesn't necessarily make it like less bad, but they sort of all together take the choice. Lamine Yamal was the only Spanish player to go and be butthurt and go and walk down to the tunnel, take his trophy off, his medal off, and go to the dressing room.
So you think he's a poor sport?
Well, yeah. I think he's.
You think he meets the fair play? You think he meets the fair play?
I think the fair play is in like it takes you down points. Like if you like, unless you're going giving to charity and doing stuff like that, and like the whole thing of like if you're like
Dabuz is saying all the right things in the media. Like, he's saying all the right. He's so humble. Like conversely, like with the Yamal.
Yeah.
Yamal's not necessarily arrogant in interviews because a lot of his words get taken out of context.
Yeah.
But there is still that you still see that arrogant side. There is that hint of
but there's even like, for example, the thing after he beat France and whatnot, he was asked, or he said like, oh yeah, Dembele is a great player, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I'm the one in the final, or we're the one in the final.
No, that's not what he said. What he said is Dembele is a fantastic player, as we saw in the Champions League. But I'm very happy that we made the final. That's actually what he said.
That's what he said verbatim. Oh, okay, fair enough.
We were talking about Gonçalo Ramos, so on. One guy that you always mention, Tosin, is Sesko, but he's too expensive and is going to go to another club. But Manda mentioned in the comments, and I've seen the report as well. That John Duran potentially wants to leave, and has once again sent his representative to us. I would say,
it's
because I think Lucho rates his profile as well.
Yeah, he does, but I think he's offered himself. It's more like PSG didn't come for him; he's the one offering, and I think PSG is just gonna leave him on red. That's all.
¿Cuánto cuesta? How much would he cost?
No, but I know that Lucho
He's been stinking it up in Saudi League, man. He's been stinking. I don't want that. How are you stinking it up in Saudi League?
The prison club has, for the time being, not provided any official response. It remains to be seen whether the prison management will decide to pursue the option in the coming weeks.
He'll be coming here to be a bench guy anyway.
Yeah, we said Gonçalo would get Duran. We could potentially sell Gonçalo for 50 a game for 50. Like Saudi clubs, they don't expect the high transfer fee.
Yeah.
Oh dang! I think I'm gonna have to get going here. I haven't slept.
Yeah, did you have watch along?
Yeah, I did the watch along. So I was here 2 a.m. Didn't sleep at all. 7 a.m. in the morning. It's 8 for you over there in Sweden, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dang, yeah. So did you like sleep and then come and wake up and watch
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
or-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had waken up really early, so I knew I had to sleep if I was gonna be able
Alright.
to have the stream.
Yeah, no, I just stayed up the entire time. I watched the Inter Miami game. I watched the Atleti game and everything. So yeah, I'm really tired. So yeah,
All right.
I'll do that. And yeah, I think I'm gonna just, skip, Twitter, skip Instagram and whatnot. Honestly, actually, you know what? I could go. What
No,
does
no,
it like? What,
No, look, if you give fire, you gotta be able to take it back.
Yeah, no. So that's always been. But yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see each other Monday after hopefully Seattle Sounders spanking.
Yeah.
Triple S. Seattle Sounders spanking at the Lumen Stadium. And hopefully, si Dieu le veut, inshallah, we go and top the group. Not only we're gonna be hopefully we're gonna be supporting PSG and also supporting Atleti. But not too much, just for them to win. Then for the goal difference.
Yeah.
All right, it's been a pleasure. See you guys next time.
That's just one.
Bye.
See you, man. Take care, man. Take care, Ginger, man. Peace. Well then, people. Do you blame the defeat on Zionists? No. Actually, now that you mentioned that, I want to check the recent news. The last thing I read was okay. I was here. CNN reports that Iran is planning to attack the official offices of Israel's Channel 14 news station. United States chance for U.S. nuclear deal this year. Bloomberg reports that Iran is racing to get its oil out in the world and set maximum revenue as research shocks continue. Fox News reports that several Boeing 747 have been spotted on radar leaving China for Iran over the last week. This is based on misinformation. Israel's president says the regime change is not primary goal of the campaign, but they're removing it within their interest. Shut the fuck up, man. Wow, $15, the oil went up. The arrested 16 spies. Netanyahu says Israel is ahead of schedule. Strong blast in northern Tehran. Israeli military issues evacuation orders for Israel. British Foreign Secretary after meeting his U.S. country is set to convey a message to Iran that the diplomatic solution is still possible. CBS reports that FBI has expanded surveillance for time.
Yo,
Since the
man,
part of the yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to sleep as well, man. It's 1 a.m. here.
Oh, rather than Tulsa, man. It wasn't the best, but we'll be back, man. We'll be back next game.
For sure. Inter. I probably won't be around for the Monday streams either.
Yeah.
But the round of 16, let's do a watch along for that one because I know it's going to be Pessy. I know it's going to be Pessy and Inter. I just have a feeling, G. It's going to be Pessy and Inter. Whether we come first or second, doesn't matter. I just have a feeling we're going to face Inter Miami, bro.
All right.
All right, man.
All right, then, Tulsa.
Take care, G.
You take care, man. Peace. Wow, look at that. Iran starts a war and has killed Israel, I mean. Yeah, I know. 2 weeks. All right. I mean, we're at a point where the Jews, Israel, and America are being honest. Back in the day, they lied. They said when they went into Afghanistan and Iraq, it was due to democracy and helping the people. Now they don't even do fake narratives. Now they're just honest. Yes, we want to remove Iran because they are a threat or a potential threat. They are a strong country, and we want to make them weak by removing their I'm fuck, man. But yeah, that's been it from boy PSG. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this post-match podcast. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the live watch along. We'll keep on covering the Club World Cup, essentially the greatest football tournament there is. That's been it from boy PSG, and as usual, allez, 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 Paris.